Welcome back, dear viewers. And to shed more light on the importance of the visit today by Austrian Chancellor Karl Nehammer, as he met the President Fattah al-Sisi early in the day, and they held a press conference to shed more light on the importance of the visit. We are joined over the phone by Ambassador Gamal Bayoumi, former Assistant Foreign Minister. Good afternoon, Mr. Ambassador.
Good afternoon. How are you?
So, Ambassador Gamal Bayoumi, how do you evaluate the importance of coordination between Egypt and Austria towards regional issues?
Very important, because Austria is an old partner in our policies in the Middle East between Egypt and Europe. Mind you that Austria is a very important member of the European Union. When we concluded our agreement with the European Union, Austria was there helping us to get the right position. And I recall here, Austria under the leadership of Chancellor Kreisky, he established close relations with the late Ammar Yasser, the chairman of the Palestinian Liberation Organization, Yasser Arafat, and since then we are enjoying the support of Austria to the Palestinian question. Now this visit is very important to exchange views and opinion about what we are facing on the international level, whether it is the corona epidemic or the war in Ukraine, and on the regional level, whether it is the problem in Syria, in Lebanon, in Libya, in Yemen, and name it. And of course, directly we have direct relations with Austria, with development assistance. And I recall personally, because I was the one who chose the tourist authority of Austria to match and to help and to twin it with our Egyptian authority for tourism also, because we realize that Austria, although it is a relatively small country, but they have as much tourists as 8 tourists for each citizen in Austria. There are 8 million inhabitants, and they host more than 50 million visitors every year. All these things we can exchange relations about it. We have trade relations also, which is on top of our relations with Europe. And as we have well seen during the press conference, our president explored all of this, and we hope that Austria, while an eminent member of the European Union, they can give us some good advices about what we are facing in our region or what we are facing in the international level.
Yes, Ambassador Gamal, how did you follow up the press conference between President Fattah al-Sisi and the Austrian Chancellor, and the main issues that were tackled in this press conference?
I watched it immediately because, as you well know, these press conferences are very important for those who are interested to know where we are going, what are our position towards different challenges and opportunities in the whole world. And of course, our president has a story of success establishing direct relations with many leaders of the world. Lately, he hosted more than 160 leaders in Sharm el-Sheikh in the Environment COP27. So I think this is one good part of our foreign policy, which is really going quite well.
Yes. Sir, also the Austrian Chancellor hailed Egypt's role in fighting illegal migration. So how do you see Egypt's role in this domain?
This is a very important point, and I personally established this agreement of fighting the organized crimes, all the sort of organized crime, not only illegal migration, but terrorism, but money laundering, illegal migration, and terrorism.
Yes.
And Egypt and Europe and Austria, we are all committed to fight against all these crimes. And I think we are making a good story of success. Although our Minister Sameh Shukri declared a few days ago that Egypt is hosting 10 million guests from Sudan, from Palestine, from everywhere, from Libya, from Syria, and you can see it quite clear when you just drive your car in Cairo streets. Even so, Egypt is not a place for illegal migration to jump to go to Europe, and that's why Europe is thanking Egypt and embracing our efforts concerning this point especially.
Yes, also, sir, the two leaders discussed, they said at the press conference that they discussed fields of cooperation in transport, manufacturing, and renewable energy. So how do you see cooperation between the two countries in these fields, and does this cooperation reflects the relations, the true relation between the two countries?
Yes, we have many examples of good cooperation in many fields, as I give you the example of tourism. And still we have many opportunities to come. It depends totally on our doing our homework in order to attract more investors from Austria and Europe, in order to make our system, bureaucratic system, matching the international one, in order to make our banking system working as the international system of banking, and so on. But the sky is the limit, and we can continue, of course, benefiting from this type of very good relations.
Yes, also the Chancellor extended an invitation to President Fattah al-Sisi to visit Austria in the near future to continue their consultations and also to continue their discussions. So how do you see the importance of this invitation?
I would encourage and appreciate such a visit.
Yes.
Because we need all the time, from time to time, to consult the main leaders of Europe, and they give us very good and honest advices. And as you well know, we have a sort of organized meeting on the level of Egypt vis-a-vis the 27 European countries. We convene meetings in many fields, and we have committees which are dealing with all the matters concerned by Egypt and Europe. And now it is between Egypt and Austria, and I hope that this also will more and more encourage more and more cooperation and results, whether in trade, investment, and economic cooperation.
Also, sir, the Austrian-Egyptian Business Council convened and they signed a number of cooperation agreements, again in different fields, especially economic ones. How do you see the importance of this business council, and also the importance of attracting more investors to come and invest in the Suez Canal economic zone?
This is also a good tool to help deepening and widening the relation, which is the businessmen association. The businessmen, the council of businessmen on the two sides can give us, because they are in the field, they can tell us what are their ambitiousness, what they want from us to make them produce
Yes.
more and to invest more. Also, we are ready and open to listen to them, whether if they have challenges, in order to get rid of any challenge or any problem during their practicing their business, whether in Egypt or in Austria.
Yes. Also, sir, what are the package of incentives that Egypt can offer to investors from Austria to come and invest in the region here, with a focus on infrastructure, transportation, communication, support development and logistics projects?
Good question. And as you will know, Egypt, and especially the Suez Canal, is in the middle of everywhere.
Yes.
If you look to the world map, Egypt is located in the middle of everything. We are in the middle between Africa and Asia. We are very near to Europe. We are part of the Arab world and the African world. This is one side. Another side, that Egyptian policy succeeded to open our market to many free trade areas. We have a free trade area with the Arabs, which started since 2005, and now we don't have any trade barriers with the Arab world. We established also the COMESA in Africa, and now we have the Pan-Africa free trade area, and on top of this also the association agreement between Egypt and Europe. This means that an investor in Egypt, and this is the source of attraction, if you invest in Egypt, this is our message to the investors, you are not dealing with a market of 100 million. It is a market of 2,000 million inhabitants in the Arab world, in Africa, and in Europe. So this is a very good way to attract investment. But also I insist that we have to do our homework to make the investor feel that he is treated according to the most developed international ways, whether in bureaucracy, whether in banking system, whether in transport, everywhere.
Yes, also the two leaders discussed the Russian-Ukrainian file and its impact on Europe and the Middle East region. So, sir, how do you see this issue?
It is a problem which all of us are suffering from it, while we are not a part of this war at all.
Yes.
And we will never be. So this make Egypt and a little bit less in Austria, we can be a sort of arbitrator who can act as a country which can bring together whether Russia and the NATO countries in order to assure them that it is better for everybody to start a sincere and an honest peace process. This
Yes.
is, of course, some of our experience in the peace process which we concluded everywhere, and we are famous that we have all the experience, whether diplomatically or legally.
Yes, I'd like to thank you, Ambassador Gamal Bayoumi, former Assistant Foreign Minister. Thank you, sir, for being with us. And President Fattah al-Sisi received on Thursday the Austrian Chancellor Karl Nehammer at Al-Ittihadiyya Palace, and following the talks, the two leaders held a press conference on means of fostering joint cooperation in various domains. Also, President Sisi extended appreciation for the Austrian Chancellor's invitation to visit Austria soon. The talks tackled the Russian-Ukrainian file, mechanisms of facing illegal migration during the coming period, cooperation between the two countries in the field of clean energy, agriculture, and telecommunications infrastructure. Many cooperation agreements were signed between the two countries later, with the attendance of Prime Minister Mustafa Madbouli. Dear viewers, a short break and we'll be back, so stay tuned.